So, Sex and Cigarettes. Now, this have finally came out. Now, I'm a big fan of Tammy Braxton. She been in the game. I actually watched her biography, which was on, I think that was on the women's channel. I forgot what it's called. I think Lifetime or whatever. Yeah, I watched that, and I thought that was like really, really nice. I didn't know that she got screwed all out of all that money in the 90s, but she been grinding hard for a couple of years. And also, I didn't know that I forgot Mint Condition. She was married to a guy from Mint Condition. Yeah, I'm sad that he actually divorced her, or her divorced him, and what her struggles with, like, I think cancer or whatever. But yeah, and her son having autism. That was all sad and all. But yeah, of course, any of you who may not know who Tammy Braxton is, let me give you a brief summary of her career. She started in the 90s, and she had classic hits about being heartbroken. She had Unbreak My Heart, which was a big hit. I think she won a Grammy or so forth. Was pretty big, and she was a pretty hot superstar. And I'm sad that her album, which came out on Friday, didn't get that much press or anything. So that's why I'm doing it. But onto the album. This is the first album that Tammy released where she pretty much curses on this album. And I was very surprised because Tammy never cursed, but I know that she's getting more mature as a grown woman, and she's probably going to try to follow a lot of trends that actually get connected to the youth and them. And you know what? Hey, it's her thing. She wants to curse. It's all fine with me. And this was a release by Def Jam, and I think that Def Jam could have like promoted the album more better, because I only heard it because I have Tidal. Shout out the Tidal, and they always like to push like new items that's coming out. So yeah. Now on to the track listing. You have a track like Deadwood, which totally remind me of the HBO series, and it kind of maybe was doing a little nod to it because it has this like acoustic beginning, where it kind of sounds like folky and western stuff like that. I thought that it was pretty good, especially with the double up vocals that I really thought that was cool on the hook. I really thought the song was pretty excellent. But I just like to say that a voice like Tammy could definitely get, Toni, shit, what the fuck now am I talking about? Toni Braxton. A voice like Toni Braxton can definitely make a dead wood into a tree of life, because she's so sensual and very have one of those butter melting voices that just all inspiring. So yeah. Now, speaking of Deadwood, I've preferred Deadwood much more than Backwoods. That's a little cigarette pun. But no, really, it's called Sex and Cigarettes. And I thought that maybe in this climate, where we have secondhand smoke, maybe people wouldn't really reference smoking like that. But hey, that's Tammy, and I know that she wants to like tie it back, and she's old school where they don't really give a fuck. So hey. So you have the title track where it's called Sex and Cigarettes, which kind of reminded me of the song Sex and Candy, with the whole title. But this is far from Sex and Candy, because this is a very much a piano driven track, which is about thinking that your lover or somebody you're in a relationship is cheating because they smell like sex and cigarettes when they say they're out at work, which is something that we can all like maybe notice or relate to. Why you're at work at a fucking office and you smell like sex and cigarettes. Maybe cigarettes, maybe, because maybe you get secondhand smoke, but sex, that's something totally different. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I could say about this album is it relies on like the piano a little bit too much. Like for the song "As Long as I Live," the song has this little piano build up that is the best piano build up to like are really making its own like melody since Neo's So Sick, where you had the So Sick of Love songs. So yeah, I thought that that was a pretty cool thing. And the song is basically about how she can't get over a lost relationship, and as long as she live, she will always love this person, which kind of reminds me of Whitney Houston and "I Will Always Love You," which um, which was actually originally a country song, which, kind of ironic considering that Deadwood sounded a little bit like acoustic and western and country to me a little bit, just pointing out. And also the ending guitar at the end where it goes like, "Ner, ner, ner, ner," it sounds like the same type of guitar that was used for Rihanna's whole song "Kiss It Better," when she wanted to add a rock flavor to her album Anti, just pointing out. All right, now the next song, which, where she says 47 hours, 30 minutes, and 40 seconds. And I'm like, that's close to 2 days. Why didn't you say 2 days, Tammy? FOH, which sounds a little bit too much. The song really kind of turned me off with the whole references to suicide and her counting the minutes until her lover left, which is something a little bit like, oh, kind of thirsty to me. But the song is short and sweet, and it's not that much annoying to me. Now you have the next track, which is called Sorry, which, is the best throwing shade reference to being sorry since Beyonce's last album, Lemonade. I really thought the song was pretty cool, especially with the whole idea of you'll be way sorrier than her, at the end of the day. I like how it's just have this false sincerity and false gratitude when it comes to the whole idea of saying sorry. It was a very cool track. Oh, yes. And another thing I like to say is I like the classical build up when it comes to the hook. I really thought that was pretty nice. All right, now the next three tracks, which is My Heart, Coping, and Missing, I really thought that these three tracks was a bit lackluster. My Heart, it drills down the whole idea that money can't buy everything and that she'll give you everything that she has except for her heart, probably because it's been crushed so many times. And it could be a reference to Unbreak My Heart, which was a big song for her, you know. So yeah. And also the song Coping, it should have been called fucking Copying because the whole lone piano with the beat building up have been tried so many times before in so many R&B songs. I mean, Tammy, I know you're better than that. Come on, man. Oh yes, and the song "Missing," where it kind of has that tropical Caribbean feel. It kind of sounds like Tammy really got inspired by Drake, and she just had to hop in the studio and fucking say, "Yeah, we're gonna ride this wave next." Hey, it's still a good song, and overall, these three tracks, they're okay songs, but I know she can definitely do better than that. But hey, what can I say? Her voice really builds and carries this album all through. The production is pretty generic, but then again, I'll always be a fan of Tammy Braxton's voice totally. Wait, do I mean Toni? Fuck. How come I keep on saying Tammy? Shit, I'm retarded. But overall, this is a pretty good album. The only gripes I have with it is it kind of used a little bit too much piano, and when it tried to modernize, it kind of was seemed a little generic. But hey, I'm gonna give this album overall 7. It was pretty good. Please like, subscribe, share to the channel. And how did you feel about this new Braxton album? Leave your comment on how you feel and whatever. And this is the Flag YouTuber. I'm out, guys. And shout out to the Rap Critic. Yeah.